Good morning, y'all. It's Timidity. If a nigga ever starts getting comfortable with you, as in, like, starts acting like they're not valuing your worth and that you're not worth shit, then guess what? Tell him that I hope he gets real fucking comfortable in the position he's in, because he's not leaving it anytime soon. You're leaving him right where he's fucking at, and you aren't gonna come save that bitch what the fuck comes next. Because once a nigga starts treating you as if you're disposable, you gotta dispose of him. The reason I'm making this video, so my ex-boyfriend Liam, I've known him on and off for 3 years. We have still stayed in touch. Our genitals have stayed in touch. Our bodies have stayed in touch. A lot of things have been touched. But he told me on December 19th that he had not gotten me a Christmas gift. And I don't recall if he said the words yet, but either way, that wasn't gonna save him. Because mind you, like, I was actually feeling just as if things were just as good as when we first met. Like, I was actually saying the L word and shit, as embarrassing as that is. But you know what? I don't regret saying that I love someone, because to an extent I did. But, let's just say the care has dramatically dwindled. Because then I thought on it, I was like, okay, you know what? I was dealing with that eviction process like all of this month, and like some of November, super fucking anxious, and like he wasn't really making shit better for me. Like, not even really emotionally. He was not there for me emotionally. Also, what's the last time I've actually had like some orgasms from him? He doesn't, like, it's been 3 years of having access to my body, and he still can't suck titties. I don't like him eating my pussy because for some reason his mouth he has British mouth syndrome, and it fucks up I don't need that bad energy down there. Lowering the property value by putting his mouth on it. Haha, that's fucked up. I'm sorry, Liam. That's a little too mean. But then again, he needs to brush his teeth more, and it's like, it took him like fucking 2.5 years to actually buy peroxide. Nigga, your walking distance to a Walgreens and your own job sells peroxide. There's no reason your teeth should be fucking yellower than the goddamn sun. And your breath just as hot as well. Ugh. And then I was extra embarrassed because it's like, you mean to tell me I've been like, my broke ass, struggling ass, suffering ass. I was still plotting and planning on what to give this nigga for Christmas whole time. December 19th, still nothing in the works at all. And then I also thought to myself about how he's been fucking up more lately on top of that. Like, hey, what about that time he made me go home when it was like fucking 2, 3 a.m.? And it's like he could have easily had me sleep over until, like, he would have lost nothing having me sleep over, but okay. Nothing says care like making me wake up out of my sleep as you see me sleeping to pack up all my shit and gather items from the deep corners of your bedroom and put on hella layers and put on my shoes and hop in a long ass ride back home. Like, wow, thanks. And I just thought to myself, okay, so, like, I've been planning to help this nigga out, and he's been doing what exactly? Plus, his attention was going elsewhere, and he also just had plenty of, like, IOU moments, and he was getting more stingy with his money, and it's like, okay, it's like it paints a picture. Mind you, he has no reason to be stingy with his money because he hardly sees anyone else outside of me by his own choice. It's like, okay, what, you're gonna buy some more Bathing Ape fucking Supreme hoodies that you aren't gonna wear out with your funky, friendless ass? Wow. It's like, oh, okay, so let me get, like, what are you saving? It's like, oh, I'm not gonna help Tamia with the phone bill or whatever as she's fucking struggling to, like, when has her head just fucking barely above water. And I'm not gonna be emotional support because I need to buy another pair of $300 shoes that I will not ever, ever, ever wear out. And then, yeah, just, I thought to myself, what am I gaining from this? And I kind of thought to myself, I've put my pussy on lock for a while where I made it so that I'm celibate unless I'm paid, and the only exception to that rule was Liam. And even then, Liam's acting like he should not be an exception. Like, nah, now he's fucking up too. And it's like, I also thought to myself, why am I even celibate anyway? Because celibacy can be empowering to an extent. If it's like, okay, I'm gonna, like, no one deserves access to my amazingly beautiful, luscious, godlike body. No one does. And they don't deserve to, because it fucks with me mentally, and I don't need that. I don't need to get addicted to someone sexually. But then over time, I think that has turned into like a more misogynistic, like, oh, if I have sex with somebody just because I want to have sex and they don't give me money or invest in me or do this or do that, then I'm lowering my value and no one will want me and I'm going to be used goods and spoiled and rotten and nasty and loose and blah, 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 and easy. And simply put, after this interaction with Liam, where I just kind of, it's like, oh, look, like, Liam has needed to be taught this lesson multiple times. Like, the whole reason we broke up, I remember he was such an ain't shit nigga around that time. And then he started being the first one to start boo-hooing and womp-womping, because then I fucking left him. Because it's like, yeah, you know what, I'm not gonna, if I have niggas who work at Pandora, or who are CEOs, or who do this, and they want me, And I'm rejecting them for you, someone I have to beg to use a fucking Groupon for on a fucking date. And like $5 of Clipper card money to take me on, like, and you can't even brush your teeth within like a 5 day. Yeah, ew. Enough said. Enough said. Ew. So that's the first reason. And then the second time he ever got humbled, I remember it was 4th of July. I was like, it was around 4th of July. I was like, hey, baby, do you want to go to Marin County Fair? He was like, I don't know. I'll have to see if I'm up for it. And like I was just thought to myself, ew. And then guess what? Like it was around like 3, 4 p.m., hella late in the day, and the festival was already gonna end at like 8 p.m. and he fucking knew that. He hit me up like, hey baby, you wanna go to the fair? I said, oh, I'm actually on my way to Lake Tahoe right now with somebody. And he got his heart shattered into a million pieces. It's like, yeah, you forget that bad bitches have options. We have people that like fucking if people out there can sense that a relationship is dying, then they will be like vultures and just circle around until the right moment to swoop in. And I had a great time at Lake Tahoe shotgunning beers with a fine ass Colombian man, and Liam got to keep his ass home. And he apologized to me and was like, I'll never do that shit again. But guess what? He did this shit again. So this is why I'm making this video. Now that you're caught up, here's the fun part. I decided no more plotting and planning on Liam's Christmas gift. Let's start plotting and planning on how I'm gonna let myself have one single day where I'm going to allow myself to break celibacy and fulfill a fantasy. I thought to myself, I want mirror sex. I want it dirty and sloppy in front of the mirror. I want to suck a new type of dick. I want a nice thick cock. I want someone who has I want someone who's tall, broad shoulders, nice ass, sweet to me. And I was really praying to the high heavens and all who could listen, any higher power. I was like, please send me a fine ass man. So and I didn't even set the bar low, because hell, me setting the bar low is actually ironically how I met Liam in the first place all those years ago. That's a long story. We will not talk about it. For now, let's just say I was like, please send me someone intelligent, sexy, smart as fuck, eats the pussy like it's motherfucking macaroni and cheese that's touching candied yams on Thanksgiving Day with the brown sugar ham juices all over it. Please let someone slurp it that good. I said, make him a high earner, make him have money, make him intelligent, smart, like make him just awesome in every fucking conceivable way you can think of, and make them absolutely aligned with me in all that I need. Amen. And then I went about my business. I remember I immediately that same evening I made a post online just like I'm looking for, like, I did kind of set the bar low at first though, because I thought, if I keep my standards low, it leaves less room for disappointment. And so I just went online like, hi, I'm looking for someone who can, like, I don't know, make me a nice home cooked meal and we can chill for a bit before we go to Pound Town. And I made a long list of requirements and I had plenty of idiots reach out, but then this one guy stood out in particular. Fucking 6'5", ooh, chiseled jawline, nice full beard and mustache combo, and like blonde, blue eyes. I thought his eyes were brown at first. The blue was and they were actually more hazel. He was a very gorgeous looking man. I gotta give it to you. And it was very funny because one thing, like at first, I just thought to myself, okay, this could be someone who could just be chill to like cook with and like have a quick little fling. But then conversation actually went so well with me and the dude within like 24 hours. He was like, damn, you know what? Like like the conversation stopped being more or less about like, ooh, what's your favorite position? Ooh, how do you like this? How do you like that? It just became like, oh, do you want to go ice skating? Oh, or we could go to the museum or the exploratorium. Yeah. Oh, or if not that, ooh, California Academy of Sciences. Oh, or and then like it's and like, ooh, we could go to this Italian restaurant and then this comedy show after, and then we started making actual plans. It got so far from the source material, and he got so excited about the shit. Me and the new guy that I was talking to, let's call him, I guess let's give him a nickname. Let's call him Tony. Sure, that works. That's the name he gave me at first. Tony, his bitch ass. What a stupid name. I want to say his real name, but let's just call him Tony. I'm sorry. Tony straight up was like, hey, how about instead of like us just meeting on like Christmas evening or something, or Christmas morning, how about we just meet on Christmas Eve? I said, oh, are you sure? And he was like, yeah, I'm really feeling this. And then guess what? We met on Christmas Eve. Like, it was so funny because at first Tony had the energy of like, oh, as long as whatever we do, like, yeah, I'm down with your little thing where we hook up, and then like after Christmas I expect you to block me to MIDI. That works for me. But hey, like, he was like, he said, as long as you don't catch feelings for me. But then one thing led to another, and suddenly, like, just picture a guy being like, as long as you don't catch feelings for me, and then like within like 3 days of talking, Like the second, like he woke up at fucking 5 a.m. on Christmas Eve so that he could stand at the BART station an hour before it even opened just because he was that anxious. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then, like, we met up. We had wonderful conversation at this nice little lounge over some hot chocolate with some little peppermint candy canes. We went out to walk. We went to Japantown. I got to have him try some new foods and get some snacks with me in public. It was so funny. We actually went, you know what we should do? We should get like a fake engagement ring so that we can just go to random restaurants and bars and have you fake propose so that then we can get free drinks. And we decided on that. So he took me to the shop and we found this like really beautiful ring, but it didn't fit. And he had this, like, we both had the smart idea of like, what if we asked the lady at the register like to get some scissors and then like cut the, because the band doesn't seem that small. We walk up to her and we try to communicate, hi, do you have some scissors that we can use, like scissors, so that we can cut the band on this ring to make it fit? It's okay if not. And she looked at us like she didn't understand what we were saying. We were like, oh, we want to make it adjustable, like, do you have scissors? She, I don't know what she was thinking, but she like kind of frowns at us. And you know, she's always been a bitch. I've been there a million times. She always has a stank ass attitude. She goes in the back and she pulls out these motherfucking jaws of life ass big ass pliers. And we were like, oh shit, okay. And then like my date helps me snap that shit in half and we tried it on and it fit. She saw how it went from like a size 6 to like a size 7.5 so fast. I've never heard her speak like consistent, like she spoke, I don't know, she just like got hit with the power of like good English out of nowhere. She was like, oh, to make it adjustable, that is so smart, that is so smart. And she kept like fucking like clapping and cheering. She was hella happy. She was like, that's a smart idea, man. And she was praising my date. I've never seen that woman so happy. I've been in that shop a million times. She loved my date. She was like, this man's a genius. Then we went to this nice, like, Christmas little boutique hotel. We enjoyed a little bit too much of the complimentary sherry and peanut butter cookies. We learned about each other's lives. He learned some stuff about me that not many people know. In fact, it was actually kind of alarming how easy he was to talk to. I'm usually, and he asked questions about me. Those who have been here for a while, you know how that's been like a thing for me. Like, he made me feel so listened to and heard, and we talked, and he would not stop praising me for estranging my family, and like, he was really sweet, like a dedicated listener and very thoughtful. And I remember, like, we tried to hook up. I won't say too much other than holy fucking shit, that man is amazing at giving head. He accidentally hit me in the nose like twice, but that's only because he's incredibly, like, he would try to reach towards my jaw to try to kiss me, but then he had those, he was 6'5". Did I mention that? And his hands are kind of big, so, and he would kind of not realize that as a big tall man you can't just, you gotta be careful where your limbs are going. So let's just say for Christmas Eve I was Rudolph the reindeers on the tip of my nose with a small little red bump that I covered in makeup. He felt so bad about that. He was apologizing profusely and kissing all over my face. He ate it so goddamn amazingly. He was slurping me like a motherfucking melted slushy. He was eating me up like I was like a melted gelato and like a waffle cone. He was going deep in both holes. Both holes! Both holes? Both holes. Then we went out to this really romantic Italian dinner. And what's funny is last year for Christmas, I went out to this Italian place that Morgan showed me. And you know, the restaurant staff, they knew me, they recognized me, they've seen me there with Morgan. So when I showed up on Christmas Eve with like red rimmed eyes, but like just like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have a reservation, they felt so bad for me. They gave me a seat and they were so sweet. They didn't ask for tip or anything. They were just like, happy holidays. Like, they felt so bad for me. But they were like, when I walked in with my date, they saw me all dressed up with my sexy, beautiful long Audrey Hepburn-esque red dress and my fucking beautiful tennis necklace and my jewelry on with this fine ass, tall, handsome man. And like the lady who seated me last year, she was there this time. She was like, what a beautiful gown. It's so festive. Look at you. And she could not, she was just so ecstatic. She was happier than I was, damn near. And that made me so happy because she just was like, holy shit, now that, look at this girl. She, in a year, she went from super sad and depressed and like struggling with like, you know, to like, she's got this fine ass nigga taking her out, treating her to like veal and motherfucking profiteroles and gnocchi and stracciatella. Mm. And like my date also had never been on, like, they haven't dated many people, so that like at all. So I was the first good date they had in ages, but also the first time they ever had a candlelit dinner with somebody, which was very sweet. Oh man, they were really moved by it, and so was I. And they had such a wonderful time with me, and we did a lot more. Like, if anything, let's just say it went so well between me and him that we actually had an entire, like, week. Like, I only just got back from us being together, like, yesterday at, like, around, like, 2 p.m. That's when we stopped hanging out. Like, imagine you get done hanging out with a dude, or like you think you're just gonna have one single day on Christmas Eve where you're gonna get some shitty lasagna made and then get your cheeks clapped by some dude who doesn't give a single fuck about you. And instead, in a week's time, you have such a life altering, like, romantic fling with somebody that starts on, like, Sunday and ends on, like, what, fucking Saturday afternoon? That was beautiful. And you know what? That shit made me so grateful that Liam was decided to be a piece of shit because it aligned me on a path that I feel like I needed to be on 10 times better. Liam got to enjoy his time with his family, you know, the same bullshit people as always. And they treated him the same way they always do, if not slightly worse this time around. And I was actually able to have an amazing experience, and I am so grateful for it. And there's more to share, but I'd say that's enough. Peace out. Bye.